What's up, guys? DKRACK here, and I'm back at it with another Mr. Nightmare reaction. And this says, horrifying things that happened on horror movie sets. Like always, guys, link to original video down below. Make sure and go check out Mr. Nightmare. Let's go ahead and check this out. Let's go.
A lot of horror movies are legitimately scary, but in some cases, the events that took place on the sets of certain horror movies were more terrifying than the movies themselves. A number of horrifying incidents have taken place on the sets of some of the most successful horror movies of all time, before, during, or shortly after filming.
Oh god, not
Whether
the
these
ring.
incidents were fatal accidents, cruel twists of fate, or some sort of evil curse still remains debatable. Perhaps a good place to start would be the Amityville Horror House, whose events may start to seem even scarier when you learn that horrors also took place.
God, I would be creeped out to visit that actual house location in Connecticut.
On the sets for both the 1979 movie and the 2005 remake. The first Amityville movie starred James Brolin, who wasn't originally eager to take on the role, but eventually he accepted it because of something strange that happened. While reading the script one morning and getting to a scary section of the story, a pair of the actor's pants suddenly fell off a hanger, causing him to literally jump out of his chair in fright. James, of course, saw this as a sign that he needed to take the role, and the rest was history. Fast forward to the 2000.
For me, I would have thought the opposite. I would have been like, that's a sign for me to not take the role and be involved in this movie. If a pair of pants just fell off the wall, I'd be like, nope, that's a sign not to participate in the movie.
5 remake, with Ryan Reynolds taking on the part that was originally played by James Brolin. During filming, Ryan Reynolds, along with other cast members, claimed that every morning at exactly 3:15 a.m. they would wake up. The reason why that's terrifying is because 3:15 a.m. was the exact time that Ronald DeFeo murdered his entire family in the house. And it becomes a whole lot more creepy. At one point during filming, there was also an actual dead body that washed up near the filming set in the boathouse in the backyard of the house. Actors and crew members always suspected that there was an otherworldly presence during the filming of the movie.
That's creepy.
Whether they were right or just overly paranoid, who knows?
No, something was going on there.
Possession is an unconventional horror movie that involves rabbis, Judaism, and a cursed Jewish relative.
I remember watching this movie for the first time. It was a scary movie. There was like some wooden box. That was like a Jewish wooden box that they used to keep a demon contained within the wooden box. And if you opened it, you would let out the demon or the evil spirit. It was a whole mess in the movie.
Called Dybbuk box that attaches itself to a young
box.
girl. A Dybbuk box is a wine cabinet claimed to be haunted by a Dybbuk, which is a malevolent wandering spirit that enters and possesses the body of a living person until exorcised. What happened on the set of The Possession left even the star of the movie, Jeffrey Dean Morgan, feeling very uneasy, and he already had a lot of experience acting in horror movies and shows under his belt. Some of the seemingly supernatural things that happened included lights exploding for no apparent reason, as well as chilly breezes wafting through closed sets for no particular reason. But the scariest incident occurred when the storage facility where all the movie props were being held caught fire and burned to the ground. A team of investigators concluded that the fire was not started from an electrical fault or arson, but the actual cause for the fire couldn't be determined. The Dybbuk box used in the movie, which played an important role in the movie, was destroyed in the fire, and the cast and crew later refused to allow the movie's producers to replace the Dybbuk box for fear that it was cursed.
Wow. I didn't know that about the movie.
It's supposed to be based on the true story of the Perrin family, who claimed to be tormented by supernatural entities in their Rhode Island home in the 70s. While several of the family members spent time on the set during filming, the mother refused to go anywhere near it, as she was convinced that several unexplained events that plagued the filming of this movie on set were proof that the spirits hadn't finished with them yet. For instance, when members of the Perrin family were visiting, a furious gust of wind suddenly rose and seemed to swirl around them. However, nobody could see any movement.
It's like when the family visited, the evil spirit remembered them because they grew up there as children. They returned to the house during the filming, like the actual kids and family who lived there. And it's like, oh, you're back for more. The spirit probably did not forget them.
In any of the trees just opposite them, movement you'd expect to see from any normal gust of wind. Just a couple days later, the hotel that the actors and movie crew were staying in caught fire and everyone had to be evacuated.
Another
And
fire?
it doesn't end there.
What?
James Wan, the movie's director, recalls working late in his office one evening when his dog started growling at something. He would get up to investigate, but he couldn't find anything that would be antagonizing the dog.
Did something follow him home?
However, the dog had his sights on something across the room. It seemed he had focused on an unseen entity in one corner of the room. James took a break from working after this, having been legitimately freaked out. Vera Farmiga,
yeah, I'd be freaked out too.
who played the role of a paranormal investigator in the film, refused to take the script home with her, as she said it made her feel uneasy. She also couldn't read it at night because she became paralyzed by fear whenever she tried. After a phone call discussion with James Wan, Vera opened her laptop screen, and there were 3 digital claw marks from the upper right diagonal to the lower left.
What? Digital claw marks?
This wasn't the last time it happened, though. Her next experience came a few months later, literally on the day that she completed work on The Conjuring. She returned home to upstate New York, and when she woke up the next day, she discovered what she describes as 3 claw-mark bruises across her thigh.
Oh my God.
In 1983,
that's creepy.
A movie based on the Twilight Zone series was released. During filming, actor Vic Morrow was killed on the set. Deaths on movie sets have happened many times, but what makes this extra disturbing is the fact that Morrow appeared to predict his demise just a year earlier. A year before filming of the Twilight Zone movie began, Vic took out a $5 million life insurance policy on himself, explaining to friends and family members that he had a premonition something bad was going to happen to him on an upcoming movie. He had seen it in a dream he had. Unfortunately, his premonition came true.
What?
While filming a scene involving a helicopter for the Twilight Zone, the helicopter crashed and decapitated him. 2 child actors were also killed in the accident, which prompted a lengthy investigation and court case. It was later revealed in court that the movie's concept artist unintentionally drew an identical image in his sketches to what actually happened. A burned out helicopter in the middle of a river, essentially foreshadowing the accident. The accident led to civil and criminal action against the filmmakers, which lasted nearly a decade. One of the children's fathers testified that he heard John Landis, the director, instructing the helicopter to fly lower. All 4 parents testified that they were never told that there would be helicopters or explode.
Did the director actually want the helicopter to crash for a good scene for the movie? Like, oh, if a couple people pass away or die, it'll be good movie footage. Whatever. Jeez.
Explosives on set, and they had been assured that there would be no danger, only a lot of noise. John Landis and 4 other crew members would be found not guilty on the 3 charges of manslaughter, having been the first time a director was charged due to a fatality on a film set. The 1976 film The Omen is another horror classic following the tale of a young boy named Damien Thorne, who was replaced at birth by his father, unbeknownst to his wife, after their biological child died shortly after birth. As a series of mysterious events and violent deaths occur around the family and Damien enters childhood, they come to learn he's in fact the Antichrist. The film almost wasn't going to be completed due to an alleged curse that surrounded filming of the movie. So many horrible things happened on the set of The Omen that it can be comparable to the amount of bad things to happen in the movie. The tragedies began with the son of the lead actor Gregory Peck taking his own life as soon as filming began. The next incident was when a crew member suffered major injuries after getting into a car accident while driving to the set. But the tragedies didn't stop there. The scriptwriter's airplane was struck by lightning en route to the film's location.
What?
And if that weren't enough, an airplane in which Gregory Peck and the movie...
These are not just coincidences. These are like acts of some unknown evil force.
His executive producer were traveling in was also struck by lightning in a separate incident. Harvey Bernhard, the producer, was on location in Rome when he was almost hit by a bolt of lightning himself. And believe it or not, the horrible luck involving airplanes continued. And it got much worse. One day, the crew had decided to use a private airplane to get from one film location to the other. However, just after the plane took off with a number of the crew on board, something went wrong and the plane went down, crashing into a road and hitting a car, which then crashed at a high speed into another vehicle. All 11 people involved in the accident were killed. Another tragic death associated with the movie set was that of Liz Moore. John Richardson, the Omen special effects expert, was driving through the Netherlands with Liz Moore when they were involved in a terrible car accident. Richardson escaped with very minor...
Yeah, there's too many bad events going on in this Omen movie for it to just be a coincidence. This legit does sound like the movie was cursed. And anybody who worked on the movie. My God.
Minor injuries, but Moore's head was completely severed when a tire smashed into their vehicle. This incident was eerily reminiscent of a scene in The Omen, in which the character Keith Jennings, investigating Damien's supernatural origins, is decapitated by a sheet of glass that comes loose from a vehicle on a construction site.
Oh,
Richardson
no.
later reported that just before the crash, he passed a road sign that read Omen 66.6 kilometers.
No.
Make of that what you will. There's no denying that it's not too far off to speculate that the production of The Omen may have been cursed. That, or it was all just an outrageous coincidence. All that can be said for sure is that The Omen is a very iconic movie, and the chilling tales that surround its production have only helped to cement that legacy.
Wow. Yeah, I don't know what you guys think, but I don't think that last movie, The Omen, I don't think all of those events that happened were just pure coincidence, random. There was some evil force that was not seen that was doing something there. My goodness. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this reaction. Horrifying things that happen on horror movie sets. If you guys did, make sure and smash the like button. Subscribe to my channel if you're new. Leave a comment down below. If you guys have any other videos you want me to do a reaction to, like I said, leave a comment down below. Maybe I'll check it out. But thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you next time. Peace.